Hello, today I'd like to go over what our third grade was like. I have a son who's getting close to being finished with third grade, and this is what I did for third grade. Rod and Staff has been our core curriculum for reading, writing, arithmetic. So I have the third grade arithmetic from Rod and Staff. I do have the teacher's manual as well, and I did find that useful, so I would recommend having the teacher's manual. I didn't use it a whole lot, but a few times I was glad I had it. And with the Rod and Staff third grade, it's the first grade where arithmetic has to have a notebook, so the answers are written in a notebook and not in the actual textbook. So this textbook is a non-consumable. That's nice. All of my third grade curriculum was non-consumable. Third grade English, I bought this used from Abe Books, I want to say. It was either Abe Books or Thrift Books. And I was happy that I could get it used. I also got the teacher's manual used. And I did definitely have to have a teacher's manual because I don't really remember all this stuff about grammar, and that was necessary to have the manual. So this also is a non-consumable. The child's work goes in a notebook like this. So for my next child, all I have to get is notebooks. And for spelling, reading, writing, arithmetic, I guess I'll do reading next. For reading, we did the reading curriculum comes in 2 books, and he read one of the books, and then he also read these. This is for social studies. They don't have a history for third grade, and science. And I did not order the test sheets for this. I just had him read through it and then dictate to me what he had learned or read about in that day. He finished this well before the school year was over. Like, he finished this, I want to say a couple months into the school year. He also finished this book about social studies, understanding our community, a couple months before not very long into the school year. It's not very thick. So for that section of the day, so he had this was a type of reading curriculum. It wasn't only a reading curriculum, but I'm saying that the work he had to do was reading during that period of school, and he also had this that he was reading. So he had like 2 slots of time where he was doing a lot of reading. And once he finished these, I just filled that slot with more reading. I got these books just thrift shopping and people giving me different books. So Lewis and Clark book, this has some of their own writings in it. That's why it's called the In Their Words series. And it's falling apart very badly. But so I gave him that to read. Thomas Jefferson, gave him this to read. Found this at the store, gave him this to read. And George Washington book. I gave him, I picked these up from, just someone at church was getting rid of some books. These are below his reading level, but I thought they were some other things to fill his time with educational materials. So he just zipped through this and this. I give him those to read. And now he's on the second book of the units 4 and 5 for reading, because we finally got it out of a box somewhere, and he'll do that. So for the time slots where he had been reading these, he finished these. He went on to reading this stack, and I feel like those were good subjects. He enjoys reading, and they were good historical figures and time periods. Oh, he also read The Matchlock Gun. So some of this is, most of this is history, I guess. Matchlock gun, I guess, would be history and literature. For spelling, we did the IEW Phonetic Zoo. And this is a curriculum that's supposed to last, like, all the grades. He can start it in 3rd. And when he's done with it, he should be a good speller. I don't know, sometime in high school or around high school. I don't know. This spelling list for level A is what you do the first time you do this program. So you'll do all the lessons. I don't know how many lessons there are. There's 40. Yeah, 40. Close. 46 lessons. You do all the level A words. And then you go back through it again and do all the level B words. And do all the level C words. And that takes you several years. So this comes with an audio file, and the audio file is where they hear the word spoken and they write. So this is also non-consumable curriculum, and then you put the written words in here, and they write their guess of what the word should be spelled like. Then the next audio file is the corrections, and they go over the spelling. And Andrew Pudawa says that the letters going into your brain one at a time, as they would in an auditory way, helps the mind spell them correctly. Instead of just looking at the word on the page and all the letters going at once, and they can get scrambled up sometimes. So the second audio file is to be played where they write the letters, hear the letters in order and write them in order for all the corrections. Then they mark which ones they got wrong. Then they do the list again the next day, and it goes on like that until they have done all the words correctly twice in a row, and then they can go to the next reading list. So he hasn't gotten through many of the reading or spelling lists. He hasn't gotten through many of the spelling lists yet, but I'm not worried about that because I think it's for mastery, and he will just work on them until he knows them by heart. So that was our curriculum. We did a lot of family reading. I do a lot of audiobooks and reading out loud. Every morning we start with the Bible. I'll read 2 pages of my Bible, 3 chapters about. We sing a hymn. We pick a hymn for the week. We sing it all week. And this year we read or listened to Johnny Tremaine, The Long Winter by Laura Ingalls, Mr. Revere and I, that's a Steve Lawson book. Little Town on the Prairie, These Happy Golden Years, The First 4 Years, Little Britches series, that was including Man and the Family, The Home Ranch, Mary Emma and Company, The Fields of Home, Shaking the Nickel Bush, The Dry Divide, Horse of a Different Color. Those were all by Ralph Moody. We listened to Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, by the Great Horn Spoon. That's a Sid Fleshman book. The Cricket in Times Square. And I'm reading now Crispin. I finished Crispin, The Lead Cross, and I'm reading the second book in that trilogy. And we've also listened to volumes 1, 2, and 3 of The Story of the World. That's an audio, and that's helping with history and geography. We're listening to it as a family. We get out the globe. We trace, find where all the locations of the regions are that are being discussed, and we're learning that. So this was 3rd grade, and hopefully he's ready for 4th, and then we'll be moving right along.